keep it tight, and just hop along the bottom.
Got one?
Yep. It's not a lake trout. Got one. Now it's gonna take me forever to fight them. Chuck up there. Throw as far as you can. They're afraid of the boat, so you want to kind of get it far away. There she is, baby. All right, back you go. My name is Zachary McNaughton, and I am not a professional angler. I've been fishing for over 20 years, and the one thing that these years have taught me most is that I have a lot to learn. So let's meet some of Vermont's true master anglers, and together we'll discover some fishing techniques and explore the many species that this great state has to offer. So it is November. And I'm reading water temps 48 degrees.
The lake trout here are in these shallow rocks because they are spawning. So when they're spawning, they're usually in like 20, 30 feet.
And we're out here on the Burlington Break Wall. So they basically run up and down the wall, and a lot of people only focus on the wall. And honestly, that could be a mistake because with LiveScope today, the majority of the big schools of fish that we've been marking are actually out off of the wall on the flat in front of it. So as you look down, these are rocks on the bottom. So the black is open water. These are rocks along the bottom, and these are fish. So right now there's only a couple fish on the screen. We've had moments today where there have been hundreds on the screen at a time. But basically, we're just chucking out at these targets, especially the ones that are, 70, 80 feet away. I feel like those are the ones that we've been most likely to catch today. And then just trying to get them to bite. If you're one that comes up here and you don't have electronics, yeah, fish the wall, but you might want to every third cast just turn around the opposite way and chuck way out into no man's land. So as far as gear goes, I'm throwing a medium rod right here. I've got 8-pound Daiwa X8 Braid. I really like this braid. You have to make sure there's no nicks in it, check it regularly, but it casts light lure super far. It's a super smooth line. And then we're using about a 12-pound fluorocarbon leader. All right, we got another little laker right out of the opening. We'll let it go. I'm throwing a little Ned rig here. Just a simple Ned.
And I'm using a curly tail grub for crappie. And it's basically just a little spinner, and I have a little white grub on it. And this colored pink was working, and I was using another color.
That is a big bass.
That color didn't work as well, so we switched to this type right here.
And believe it or not, he's been catching lake trout on this little crappie lure.
There we go.
What?
Lake trout.
All right, head to the back. Ooh, that's a nice one. Whoa, that's a nice fish. Oh, yeah, buddy. All right, back up. Oh, on the crappie jig. All right, there's Fisher's big male. Let's get it back. The other lure that caught fish earlier in the day What seems to be spooking them now that we've been using is the Bladebait. We've been using Sebile Vibrato Bladebait. You don't need the big ones. It's only like 25 feet deep out here to 30. So the little ones work great. And I think this time of year, one of the keys to lake trout is really just downsizing your gear and not throwing the giant stuff.
I'm trying a Bladebait and a different type my dad has.
All right, put them back. These fish have incredible eyesight, and when they look upward at the lure, they're looking right at the boat. And oftentimes, once they turn up at the lure and they see the boat, they're just done. So one of the more productive things that we've had going on today is actually throwing it way out and getting bit on the way down. There we go, there's another one. I saw that one chase downward, so it initiated the chase. So I just started reeling and continued the movement of the lure so it didn't hit bottom, and he picked it up pretty immediately. Here's another really solid lake trout. Whoa, for Lake Champlain. And we got a ton below the boat right now, so I'm gonna get her back and keep going. The Ned, I've just been throwing it on down and letting it hit the bottom, and just, you know, what you do with the Ned, just bouncing it, ticking it on the bottom, not even really doing big jumps. What I like to do is I just sort of wiggle the rod a little bit like this and make sure I'm tight to the lure on my line, and then I'll give it a little pop. And a lot of times the importance of that pop is sometimes you have a fish and you don't even know it, and that pop is like a hook set every 6 or 7 seconds to make sure that if you have one, they're not swallowing it. What a beauty. So just working on bottom, and a lot of the fish honestly have just come today with the lure laying on the bottom, the line tight to the lure, and just sitting there and feeling it. And the lake trout will just thump, hit the bottom, pick it up, and that's how we've been getting a lot of them today. It's a lake trout on the Ned. So that one, Fisher, picked it right off the bottom. Oh, hello. Holy cow, look at all those.
I know.
So the packs of fish are they're roaming along. They're not really staying in one place. So we did get in a nice spot where they seem to be passing us in regular intervals. So we just sat there for a while. But I think for numbers game, you kind of want to just hunt along the wall, and you really do need to make long casts, because with this technique, based on behavior I've seen jigging lake trout in open water, water that's 100, 120 feet deep, they have incredible eyesight and sense of their surroundings. I've seen lake trout react to a lure that's 50, 60 feet away, and that actually can be a problem when they're only in 20 to 30 feet because their eyesight is just so good. So I've been finding that really long casts have been most productive, because if you're just dropping down to fish that you're seeing below the boat, those fish know the boat's there. I can't tell you the number of fish we've seen just completely scatter once the boat gets within 40, 50 feet of them. So I've been really trying to fish about 80 to 90 feet out. I just got bit. So that was on the Bladebait. I was just hopping on the bottom. I try to keep it up off the bottom here because there's just so many snags. I lost 2 blades today, and I really don't like losing lures, so I use LiveScope to try to keep it up off the bottom. But that fish just picked it up, and it's a feisty fight this time of year, especially in shallow. So just I'm just gonna ease it up here, and not force it. What?
Yeah, I do.
To do what?
Okay.
You want to reel it in?
Yeah.
Fisher wants to reel it in, so here we go. Hand and arm. Got it? Let me know when it's up. See if we can get a double here. It's a big school down there. Hey, take it slow. Take it slow. No need to horse them. That is a beautiful fish. So lake trout have a nice set of teeth on there, so you do want to avoid that front end. Good way to hold them is hand on the back side of the fin, and one hand just cupping under their belly here. So I'm gonna hand them off to Fisher. Gonna put one hand under there. Yep, and then he'll just
And
slide.
this one doesn't have, they cut off his fin right there. And so this one was put in here.
I'm gonna catch one right now. There it is. This is a pretty fun time of year to target lake trout because you could launch in Burlington. There's 2 launches in Burlington. You got Perkins Pier and the Coast Guard launch. And from the Coast Guard launch, it's maybe 100-yard or less paddle, out, and you're at the wall. So this is a great technique that you could do from a kayak. Obviously, you want to be really careful in cold weather, cold water with the kayak. Just make wise choices around that. But this is a really accessible. We're looking out at the downtown front, right, next to us here. It's really beautiful. Whoa! I don't know what this is, but it about took the rod out of my arm. There's a beautiful local trout. All right, get him back. Yeah, so when you're fishing the Burlington Break Wall, the outside of the break wall is really more productive. You can get bit on the opening. There's little schools of bass, and the Lakers do go in there, and they do cruise the inside of the wall as well. But in my experience, just not quite in the same numbers as they are on the outside of the wall.
Thanks for watching this episode of Vermont Master Anglers. For more content, visit our Facebook page at Vermont Master Anglers. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe.